Hi, I'm Ed. In this video series, I'm going to walk you through basic principles for interpreting the Work Styles Questionnaire Screening Report from CareProfiler. The 4 videos in this series include Profile Validity, Target Ranges, Day 1 Factors, and the Screening Index and Day 1 Index. In this, the first video, we'll be focusing on Profile Validity. In this video, we're going to be focusing on the first section of the report, Profile Validity. Profile validity is the first thing you need to consider when interpreting a screening report. You'll find the validity section at the very top of the first page of information. So you might be wondering, what makes this section so important? Well, that's exactly what we're going to discover in this video. First things first, let's define profile validity. Profile validity is the degree to which the applicant is representing him or herself accurately, honestly, and consistently as they respond to the items in the Work Styles questionnaire. From the validity scales, the system determines if the applicant produced a valid profile or an invalid profile. A valid profile means that, yes, the applicant did represent him or herself accurately, honestly, and consistently. Therefore, the report is representative of who this person is, and it can be interpreted. An invalid profile, on the other hand, is not interpretable because the applicant was not representing him or herself accurately, honestly, or consistently, and therefore the report is not representative of who the applicant really is. So how does the system know if it's valid or invalid? Well, it's these 2 scales, the self-presentation scale and the response consistency scale. Let's first take a closer look at the response consistency scale. Response consistency refers to how consistently the applicant is responding to similar items throughout the questionnaire. Let's see if I can more clearly illustrate response consistency for you. To do so, let's eavesdrop on Sally as she completes the Work Styles questionnaire. So here's Sally, and you can see the item she's responding to there. I don't like it when other people set goals for me, and it looks like, yep, she's going to strongly agree to that statement. To save us all some time, I fast-forwarded Sally up a few pages, and we can see the item she's responding to now is, I do best when my routine is set for me. And look at that, she's going to strongly agree to that one too. So which is it, Sally? Do you like to be given direction or not? So you can see that Sally is not responding consistently to these 2 items that are asking about the same idea. Now, if she responds inconsistently to the majority of the item pairs, she will produce an invalid profile. Okay, so that was the response consistency scale. Now, let's take a closer look at the self-presentation scale. The self-presentation scale is measuring the degree to which the applicant is accurately representing him or herself. Or, said another way, how much energy is the applicant putting into managing how others perceive them? This scale is made up of 20 items. Statements like, I always tell the truth, I never tell lies, and I've never been wrong. These very unrealistic, overly virtuistic statements that no one, yes, including you and me, can agree to if we're being honest. To illustrate the self-presentation scale, let's look in on Bill as he completes the Work Styles questionnaire. You can see the item Bill is responding to is, I never tell lies, and yep, he's going to strongly agree to that one. Okay, maybe Bill doesn't lie much. It's possible. Here's another item from the self-presentation scale. I've never been wrong. And look, Bill is going to strongly agree to that one as well. So you can see the pattern forming here. You see, Bill is one of those few applicants that will try to tell you that they're a perfectly flawless person rather than a normal person. So if Bill continues to endorse the majority of those unrealistic statements, his self-presentation score will look like this. You can see it says invalid profile, cannot interpret. I'm guessing that right about this time you have some questions like, what do I do with an invalid profile? Do I have them retake it? Do I interview this person? What does all of this even mean? The best way to answer those questions is to take a look at some data. So let's geek out for a bit and take a look at the research we've done over the past 10 years. Our team of scientists, and be careful, you don't want to get too close to them, puts in a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure the information we're giving you is valid and reliable. We've conducted over 25 predictive and concurrent design field studies just on the profile validity scales alone. The sample size of these combined studies is over 50,000 applicants, which provides for significant statistical power in establishing validity. So let's look at some specifics. One thing we know is that applicants who produce invalid profiles are 5 to 7 times more likely to file frivolous or illegitimate worker compensation claims. We also know that applicants who produce invalid profiles are 4 times more likely to be terminated or walk off the job within the first 90 days of employment. So you can see there is strong evidence to support our recommendation to screen out applicants who produce invalid profiles, as they have a high likelihood of being costly hires. It is important to point out that screening out invalid profiles will not eliminate your applicant pool. In fact, only about 7% of applicants produce invalid profiles, meaning that the overwhelming majority, 93%, are honest and consistent and do produce valid profiles. Another way to look at it, only 7 out of every 100 applicants are likely to produce invalid profiles, leaving you with 93 people to consider. I hope that our time together has been helpful in helping you understand profile validity a little bit better. Before we say our goodbyes, I want to just review quickly the concepts. So let's quickly review. We have a valid profile or an invalid profile. Valid profile meaning that they're representing themselves accurately and we can interpret the report. Invalid profile, they did not give you a true representation of who they are, and we recommend screening them out. I want to encourage you to be sure to watch the other videos in this series that break down the other components of the screening report, such as the target ranges, day 1 factors, and the screening index and day 1 index. Well, thanks for joining me as we took a little time to explore profile validity. I want to welcome you to watch this video anytime you need a little refresher, as well as take a look at the other videos in the training series. We're always eager to answer your questions and take your feedback at CareProfiler, so do feel free to contact us whenever you have a question, and I'll see you in the next video.